Hi everybody, welcome to our Halo Gold Pack member preparing for the 4th of July. 4th of July is a big time of the year, and it's also the time of year where most dogs go missing, they escape, we end up getting a lot of dogs in shelters. So it's really important for us here at Halo to help you navigate this kind of crazy and also fantastic time of the year. I'm Heather, I'm the senior trainer with Halo, and what we're going to be talking about today is preparing for the 4th of July. Safety first, preparing before the big day, tips for the day of. So we're gonna start with safety tips first. This is what Halo's all about. Halo is about giving you peace of mind because you know your dog is safe. And we wanna extend this to 4th of July in this really happy time of the year. So this may sound a little bit silly, but I want you to make sure that your Halo fences are on. Sometimes we can accidentally push buttons and somehow the fences get turned off. So make sure that your Halo fences are on so that your dog is nice and safe inside their Halo fence. Also, think about maybe having to increase or intensify the feedback prompts on your Halo collar. Remember how we talked about in your training that distractions can take some of the dog's brain and they're focusing on something else. So they may not even hear, feel the collar feedback prompts communicating with them. It might need to be intensified a little bit. And if you're not sure about this, get out there with your dog and create some serious distractions, things that you know that will really make your dog excited. And see, are they still respecting that fence boundary that you put up? Are they still listening to, hearing, and feeling the Halo collar feedback prompts? That's a great way to make sure you set yourself up to succeed. Another thing that you want to consider is a microchip. If you have a microchip in your dog already, make sure that your contact information is updated. I think it's really smart for anyone to have a microchip in their dog because anything can happen and anyone's dog could run away. Also, make sure that your dog's collar is nice and snug, that there's no way for that collar to come up over the neck, and make sure that you have a tag on the collar and that tag has your correct information as well. And also make sure that your surroundings are safe. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this as we get further in to this presentation, but think about windows. Are they open in the room that your dog is going to be in? Think about doors and gates, anything like that. Make sure if your dog is going to be in a crate that crate is secure. So look at your surroundings wherever your dog is going to be and make sure that those are really nice and secure. And another really big important one is make sure all the humans are in agreement. It wasn't 4th of July, but it was a big event. It was New Year's Eve, 1999. So party like it's 1999, if anybody knows Prince, then we were. I had a little get together, a little shindig at my house, if you will. And it was a big deal. We're going into 2000. So we were having a good time. My dog at the time, excellent recall. She didn't even hesitate. Whenever I would call her, she would come back. She was middle of the pack, happy-go-lucky, loved all of my friends. All of my friends knew her. We were having a great time. Close to the new year, the ball's getting ready to drop, and I go and check on her just to say hi. She's laying on the bed, just chilling. New Year's Eve happens, we roll into the new year, and I didn't know that a friend had brought those thingies, they're like poppers, where you throw them on the ground and they pop and make a sound, and they're actually filled, I think, with like a little gunpowder, so there's a smell to it. Yeah, I think you can figure out where I'm going. I wish I had a Halo collar back then. But also, I didn't know they had those. So this is about humans being in agreement. I didn't know they had those poppers. If I knew they had them, I would have said, do not use them because they could scare my dog. Or I would have made sure like the bedroom door was closed, the house door was closed. I didn't think of any of that because my dog never ran away, but she did. And it was horrible. Yes, I got her back, but the hours, it was quite a while until I got her back, and it was really scary, and I don't want that to happen to any of you. So that's why I'm saying make sure all the humans are in agreement, that there's not some kind of firework or even sparkler or anything that if you're having a get together that your guests are bringing over that could startle your dog. Because even if you have a dog that is really well behaved and listens to you all the time and has excellent recall, 4th of July is very different. The sounds, the smells, the sights, all of it are very different. And I am proof of that a really well-behaved dog that you have a great relationship can run away if they get startled. So that's what I mean by making sure all the humans are in agreement. Especially if you're having to get together at your home, you're in charge of that. It's your job to set your dog up to succeed. Okay, so now that we have the most important part out of the way, safety first, let's move on to preparing for the big day. So something that's real, and we have a week to go, so now is a great time to start. And then even after 4th of July this year, keep practicing these things, because the stuff that I'm going to suggest and recommend here today, it can just apply to life in general. If you're able to desensitize your dog to sounds, smells, sights, and even feelings, fireworks, actually, I can feel them. I'm a pretty sensitive person. And so especially if I'm close to fireworks, I can feel them inside my body, especially if it's like a bunch of them going off at once, like that grand finale. Like, it's amazing and I love it, and I am overwhelmed by what I'm seeing and smelling, and I feel it, but I know it's happening. I know I'm safe, so it doesn't push me into anxiety because I understand what's going on. This is exactly what we want to do for your dog when we're talking about desensitizing. And also, it's good for your dogs to just be okay with knowing what to do when they're seeing different things, when they're like a lot of flashing lights, for example, when they're smelling something different. So one thing that you can do, you can take your dog and expose them to a bunch of different places. So think outside the box. I love thinking outside the box when I'm working with dogs. If you live by a golf course, that ping sound that a golf club, the head of a golf club makes on a golf ball, it's a little bit more mild than a firework, but it has that same effect. Dogs' hearing is way more sensitive than our hearing is. So you can just start desensitizing them to a different sound, like that high-pitched ping, or even if a ball goes like into the woods, it cracks through a wooded area on a golf course. So that's a great way to expose your dog. Go to if kids are playing outdoor sports anywhere around your home or in your city. Soccer, if kids are screaming, they're kicking a soccer ball. Baseball, same thing. A baseball, hitting a baseball bat makes the sound. It has a vibration to it. The ball hits the bat and there's cheers. So it's different sounds that are creating other sounds, and also a feeling that is associated with it. You can take your dogs to like around trains, or even like subways. Being down in like near a subway, you can feel the vibration. We can feel it as the subway cars are coming in to the station. So things like, and they're loud, and then the sound that they make when they stop. Go to around outside theme parks. Here in the LA area in Santa Monica, there's literally like a carnival theme park thingy at the end of the Santa Monica Pier that you can walk your dog around, that has all these different sights and sounds, roller coasters, and it's a great way to expose your dog to things that they might not be used to, but also to show them that it's okay. Just because there's high levels of excitement and things are happening that you normally wouldn't experience, I've got you. That's one of the most important things, is that how do you feel, right, as you're doing this? Stay confident. Don't take them to these places if you're extremely tired or feeling run down or are unsure. Ask a friend to go with you so you have a support system. There's malls, indoor and outdoor malls, that have arcades. With arcade games that are making a lot of beeping sounds. For the smells, blow out some candles. If you have an outdoor fire pit, let your dog join you if you're having an outdoor fire. Barbecues, the charcoal for a barbecue, that has a different smell. Fireworks it's more of like a gunpowdery type smell, but there's still a different smell that's smoky, and then there's the actual smoke, depending on how close you are to the fireworks. But that smell will travel. So even if I love taking dogs to outdoor cafes or even like outdoor bars and a lot of them have pool tables. The sound of pool balls hitting each other. So you can see how I'm thinking outside the box, and what I want to do is encourage you to think outside the box. Look at your environment, open yourself up to what's around you and how you can utilize your own environment to desensitize and expose your dogs to these sights, sounds, and smells, and even feelings that might be overwhelming to them. Oh, one that I almost forgot, I use this all the time, is you can actually take your dog, if your dog's okay in the car, and have them, instead of being on the seat of the car, have them on the floor. So like, on the passenger side on the floor there, so you can keep an eye on them. But being on the floor of the car, there's more of a vibration there. So it can get them used to feeling like a vibrational feeling inside their body, but everything's okay. So if your dogs are already okay in a car, they're already comfortable in a car, you can utilize your car to get them used to kind of that vibrating type feeling. Start making, if your dog is already comfortable with the crate and or the place board, start really making sure that you are creating it as a comfort zone, as a chill place. And how you can do that is do some deep tissue massage on your dog while they're in the crate. It can be a little trickier because you have to reach inside the crate, but you can do it. And on the place board, same thing, just do some deep tissue massage. And this is actually really cool because you can find out where on your dog that they hold tension. And you can just help release that by just applying a little bit of pressure, right? So like if you're touching your dog and all of a sudden you see their fur or their skin kind of crawl, it's an area that there's some stagnant energy in there. You can release that, because if you do that and if you do it every day, you're going to release some pressure and some tension in your dog, and that's going to help them be able to deal with things that might make them unsure or make them feel a little bit anxious. The more relaxed that their body is inside, that their muscles are, the easier it is for them to handle things that are a little bit more intense. So if you do this, you're kind of setting yourself up to succeed in two ways. You're showing them this place board, your bed, your crate are your comfy zones. And when you're there, you just relax and you can. That's your place to go. It's your special place. And you just go there and relax. And then you're also literally helping your dog release muscle tension. So that's a win-win in my book. And I think that that's something that people should do every day with their dogs anyways. Let's see. YouTube. YouTube is great for desensitizing to any kind of sound. There's like crying babies, there's construction, but there are fireworks sounds. And what you want to do with this is you want to start with the volume lower, so you don't want to just like overwhelm your dog right away. You want to start with the volume lower, and once you get them nice and relaxed, start playing those sounds. Or if you're engaging with them and they're happy and you're playing with them, the key is you want to play the sounds when they're in a good state of mind, when they're in a positive state of mind. So when they're happy-go-lucky and you can engage with them, or when they're already nice and relaxed. And if you start playing it low enough, it'll be something that they start to hear and know that it's there and know that it's different, but it's not going to be super overwhelming. And then gradually, as you're exposing them to this and you're desensitizing them at the same time, then you start bringing the volume up, right? Or you could, if you're doing it on your phone, you could have your phone in the other room and bring it into the room that it's closer to them. And you can also offer a yummy food or a new toy that they haven't had before. And so then they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, when did I get that like cool toy? Or when did I get that yummy food? Oh yeah, when those weird sounds were happening. Well, those weird sounds are fantastic. I want to hear those weird sounds more. Like ideally, your dog sees fireworks and looks to you like, hey, where's my new toy, right? Or hey, do you have another yummy snack for me? Like this is the association that we want to create. But it takes doing it ahead of time. So instead of like the day of. So this is why it's great that we're doing this a week before, because you should be starting now. I mean, like right after this Zoom, right when we're done. I'm kidding. But kind of, yeah. There's something really cool called Muffs. You can see a picture of it in the slideshow, and they're basically like headphones for dogs. And they're like noise canceling headphones for dogs. So if you notice that your dog is really sensitive to sounds, like don't just start throwing these muffs on your dog just because. If you do notice, or if you're unsure, you can test it. But like, if you do notice that your dog is really overwhelmed by sounds, and if you want to know, like, go where there's a trash trucks are going by, or any area that there's loud sounds, and see if they're overwhelmed by the actual sound. Muffs are great that you can put on them. Doggles are fantastic, and there's all different kinds. And those are for dogs that they're set off more by what they see. And what they see can be really overwhelming to them. Either it shuts them down or it makes them want to react if they're using their eyes too much. Because remember, we want them to get most of the information that they're getting from their nose, because that's how they naturally are born. That's the nose brings in 60% of the information, and it brings in the correct information because they're actually smelling and connecting to whatever they're learning about, as opposed to eyes. Their eyes can trick them. Their ears can trick them, but their nose does not trick them. So, we want to encourage them to use their nose. So using the doggles is a fantastic way to kind of just like block some of that. That is, it doesn't block their vision completely. I actually, though, have worked with dogs where I've blacked out the doggles so that the dog has to rely on me and focus on me more than using their own eyes, and then they actually settle down too. So that's an option if you are starting to use those at the beginning, and then you could, I usually put a piece of paper that kind of blacks them out. So that's an option with the doggles too. The Thunder Shirt. So the idea behind the Thunder Shirt is that it slows the breathing down, can kick in the parasympathetic nervous system that allows the dog just to relax. It's actually a physiological response. It creates a physiological response that triggers the dog to relax. But again, how you introduce the Thunder Shirt, how you introduce the muffs, how you introduce the doggles is really important. If you do it when there's fireworks happening, they're gonna hate those tools because they're gonna associate those tools with the fireworks, with negativity. So again, introduce these amazing tools when your dog is in a great state of mind. So when they're calm or when they're a little bit happy-go-lucky. If they're crazy excited, don't get them super duper excited and that their energy is really high, because now they're gonna associate that's the way that I should be when I wear these things. Remember, they learn by association, and when you put them on them is the imprint. So utilize them when they're in a great state of mind. Calming products. There's some amazing calming products out there as far as like hemp or CBD chews. There's diffusers. You can get lavender oil, even just like buy a little bottle of lavender oil, and you can put some on a bandana and put it around your dog's neck. You could put it on a towel or on their blanket that you put in their crate. Lavender oil just naturally helps a dog to relax. They actually have diffusers that you can plug into the wall that can create this amazing aroma in your whole space, wherever your dog is, to just kind of naturally relax them. I have an amazing connection. His name is Anthony Jacobs, and he is with Halo Organics, and his CBD products are incredible. They're organic. He's involved in the whole process. I've been working with Anthony exclusively to get all of my CBD products for years, and I am happy to tell you that he is offering our Halo Gold members that have joined today a 20% discount on his products. And the neat thing about Anthony is he wants to connect with you and find out exactly why you're looking to use this product or why you're interested in the product, and find out more about your dog. He actually started with the product for himself, and then started working with dog trainers, and now he understands dog behavior so much because of all the work that we've done together, not just me, but some other dog trainers, that he's actually created, his original products can be used for dogs, but he's actually created a line for dogs specifically. So I know they put up some information about Anthony, and shoot him a text, let him know that you were here, and then he'll actually arrange a phone call so that he can explain to you how the products work, why and when you would use them. And then I think one of the most important things is he actually helps you through the dosing process. So it's not just, 3 drops if your dog is 5 to 15 pounds. No, he's gonna help you get the correct dosing for your specific dog and for your dog's specific situation. So that's pretty amazing. Engagement products. So figure out some fun things that your dog likes to do and have them available for the big day. So there's fun, interactive toys. This is like I took one of the carrots out. Like you put treats in here and the dog has to try to get them out. This is nice and soft too. It doesn't make a lot of loud noises. So you want to think about that as well, is maybe not use something that's going to create a loud noise when you're trying to create like a nice kind of chill environment where your dog can engage. There's different types of, they're kind of called snuffle mats. I think, well, first of all, this is just really darn cute. I love turtles. But you put it down to the dog like this and they have to learn how to open it, and you actually put little treats inside here. So it's really fun because they have to figure out how to open it up. You can see I'm getting kind of geeked about these things. This is fantastic. This is a snuffle mat. And there's a bunch of different places that you can hide treats in, and it makes little noises. So it kind of can, they can be engaging with it, but it's not super loud. So this is something fun that you can have for your dog to do during the big day, but have these in advance. Make sure that your dog likes these things. Don't just get it and expect it to be fantastic for them. You can also do things like different lick mats. This is a lick mat. It has different textures and patterns, and you can put peanut butter or pumpkin. If your dog eats raw food, you can smash some of the raw food in that. This one actually can kind of suction onto something, or you can just lay it down on the ground. This actually will hook onto a crate. So you can actually take this piece off and hook it onto the side of a crate, and it's a lick mat. And again, you can see there's a little bit of peanut butter on here. You can put peanut butter. So it's something for your dog to engage with and feel positive about the environment. There's all different types of chews too, like different bones that can help them release anxiety, but also kind of get a reward. And believe it or not, when they chew on stuff like this and they're trying to get at it, it actually releases some energy mentally too. So it can relax them physically and mentally when they're chewing on these different toys. This is another chew thing. These types of ones that are like a biodegradable plastic, they're really safe, but I like to dip them in like bone broth of some sort and let them soak in that for a little bit and then put them in the freezer. Then they're cold, it feels good on your dog's mouth. This is a different type of Kong toy. If you're using something like this, it's really important. I don't know if you can see, but there's a hole on this end and there's a hole on this end. You want a hole on both ends because otherwise a dog's tongue can get sucked inside. And if the air can't be released, then the tongue swells and now the tongue is stuck in there, and that is not a good situation. So make sure for safety that you have something that has a hole on both ends. Again, you can put peanut butter or pumpkin in there. I love bully sticks or even chondroitin sticks. And this is another toy that it's a safe, so I actually put it through the toy. I can take it out here. You just slide it right through the toy and then the dog can chew it, but it also makes it so that there's not that last little piece that they could, possibly swallow and get stuck. So this is a great way to kind of occupy your dog and put them in a positive state of mind. So again, with engagement products, think about your dog and things that they would like and try them ahead of time to see oh yeah, this actually does take my dog's attention for a little bit of time. Again, just like figuring out ways to desensitize them and expose them to sounds. I asked you to be creative in that respect and use your environment. Same thing with engagement toys. Figure out what your dog likes best. Then you get to know your dog a little bit better, and you're going to strengthen and build your relationship that way. So as you can see, I think one of the most important things is preparing for the big day. Figuring stuff out before the day actually comes. Now we're to 4th of July. What do we do on the big day? One of the most important things is you want to make sure that you provide physical and mental exercise for your dog, and actually more than you normally would. We really, really want to drain them so that they don't have that excess energy that can turn into anxiety or tension. If they're just really relaxed, it's hard to in order to get anxious or nervous or tense or reactive, we have to have energy in us that creates that. So if we can drain, it's just the same for us as it is for dogs. If we can drain them and really fulfill them and satisfy them to where they have gotten a lot of great physical exercise and it's structured and they had to use their mind for things, then the dog is just going to be fulfilled and chill and relaxed. So that's the most important thing. And like I said, you're probably going to want to do a little bit more than you normally do. Provide a really comfy space. We talked about things that you can put into, a crate, or if there's a room that your dog feels comfortable in, or that you can set it up for them where you have your lavender diffuser and the place board is in there and it's nice and cozy with a blanket, and their bed is in there, and you have some of their engagement toys that they like. That's great too. If like I said, if it's a room that that your dog can go into and relax. Make sure that if that they react to sights and stuff, make sure that they can't see the outdoors. Put your blinds down, especially if that safe space for them is a room that you've put them in. It seems silly, but it's actually a really easy way to set your dog up to succeed. Again, like I mentioned, safety first. Make sure wherever you have them that it's very secure, that the crate is secure. You can even use carabiners if they were able to somehow undo the latches. I've seen dogs undo latches. I've seen dogs get out of crates because that crate tray that's on the bottom and it moves, it has a lock on it, and a lot of people don't realize that there's a way to lock that crate tray in, so make sure your crate tray is locked. But a lot of dogs will push at it so hard that they somehow disengage that crate tray lock, and they push the crate tray out and push up and shimmy underneath the bottom of the crate, believe it or not. But you can use a carabiner or some sort of clip to make sure that gap, that they can't open it wide. So these are things that I really want you to look at in your environment and make sure it's safe wherever you have them. That if you have a window open, can they push through the screen? I've seen that happen where people are like, my dog has never in their life tried that. But your dog maybe has never been around fireworks, or maybe your dog has been around fireworks. This is something to think about too. Maybe your dog has been around fireworks and has been fine. But what if a new neighbor moved in and all of a sudden they decided to shoot fireworks off? I kid you not, a couple years ago, I don't know if it was same neighbors or new neighbors, I don't know, but I do know police were called. These people were popping off fireworks, and big ones, in the middle of the street where people's cars were and stuff like that. It was so overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me to have something that close. So you just never know. If you're leaving your dog at home and you're going away for 4th of July or going to watch the fireworks, fantastic. But even if your dog has never reacted before, has been fine being home alone, make sure whatever space you have them in is safe and secure, because anything can happen. It's a time of year, those days, 4th of July and the days around it, are very, very different than every other day. What your dogs are going to hear, smell, see, and feel is going to be very different. And it only usually happens around once a year, unless you're lucky enough to live by a theme park, and you get to see those fireworks. Which, by the way, I just thought about that. Like, if you do live by theme parks, that's a way to start desensitizing your dog to fireworks, because you can do it from further away because you know where they're being shot off on a regular basis. Let's see, you could utilize the TV for a distracting sight or sound. Again, make sure though, like I have dogs that I work with that become reactive or super excited if they see dogs or animals on the TV. So make sure that you're not putting something on the TV. If your intention is to help distract your dog, make sure you're putting on something that's going to distract them in a positive way. Music. You've heard, I'm sure you've heard the saying, classical music can soothe the beast. Yes, classical music actually is calming and relaxing to dogs, but there have been studies that have done recently that reggae music, not like reggaeton, but chill reggae music with like the steel drums, that actually has been proven to really just kind of naturally relax dogs too. So you could put on some nice reggae music, put a cool little like island scene on your TV for your dog. Maybe the enrichment products that you get them are like island themed. I don't know, have fun with it. Create a great environment for your dog, but be mindful about how you're doing it. If you really are not sure how your dog is going to react, if you've gotten a new dog, if you have a new puppy, if you have a new rescue, or you're just not sure, or if you know that your dog has had a hard time in the past, stay home. This might be the year that you stay home and really make it positive for them. You make it positive building up to the day, and on that day, you really engage with them. You do a lot of great fun physical and mental activities. You just make it a really positive thing. And then after 4th of July, you keep doing stuff to help desensitize them. So then by next year, you can go to that party or that barbecue, or you can go see those fireworks live. But you made the choice to have a dog. I'm gonna get serious here for a second. You made the choice to have a dog, right? So it's your job to set them up to succeed, even if that means missing that 4th of July barbecue or missing those fireworks live for 1 year. But the good news is, if you do these things that I'm suggesting, if you take the time to set your dog up to succeed and to understand your dog's not being a wimp and they're not trying to be a jerk. They're just overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed by something that they don't experience very often, right? But you can get them comfortable around that thing. And that's your job. So it may just be 1 year that you miss it, and then you have a lifetime of awesome 4th of Julys and a dog that feels great about it as well. Stay positive. Your dog can sense and feel what you're feeling. So if you're like, oh man, the big day's coming up, like, oh God, is the dog gonna go through is the dog gonna like chew through the drywall and get out again? I literally have worked with people that dogs have chewed through walls to get outside because they're just so overwhelmed. Stay positive. Stay positive when you're doing this training. This can be with or without your dog. Do a little bit of meditation and visualize what you want to happen on 4th of July with your dog. What do you want to happen? Manifest it, and then you need to believe it, right? If you sit and you say, okay, this is my intention, this is what I want for my dog, and you stay silent for a minute, listen to that voice that then starts speaking to you. If there's a voice that's like, yeah, but your dog is never gonna be okay around 4th of July. That's the voice that you have to speak to and say, I get it. I get that you're talking to me, my subconscious. I think you're talking to me because you want the dog to be safe. You know what? This year's gonna be different. We're gonna work on it. Talk to that voice and let that voice know it's okay. Now you're manifesting something positive for you and your dog. It starts with you. It may sound hokey and you may think it's some kind of hippie crap because I'm here in California. It's not. It's proven science. Intentions and beliefs and manifesting and being in agreement, mind, body, soul, spirit with what you want and what you want your life to look like and what you want your life with your dog to look like is real. And this is how dogs can bring an amazing gift to you. This 4th of July can be a gift to your dog and to you because it can help you connect with yourself, get clear with your intentions, understand where your own anxieties are and how that can influence your dog and the world around you. So find ways, do whatever it is that you need to do, yoga, exercise, play some music, dance and jump around and sing to get yourself in a positive mindset when you're gonna work with your dog and when you're gonna start doing some of these things to prepare for the big day. And I almost forgot, use a secure leash. I've showed this before, like if you're outside walking with your dog, This is just a metal leash. It's a clip leash, but it's really solid. It has a really nice solid handle. If you are outside walking with your dog, you know, around 4th of July, people do those popper thingies and pop fireworks off all the time. If you're unsure if your dog is gonna bolt, you can use something like this that won't rip or tear. And again, make sure like the collar is on tight. If you're inside with your dog and you did stay home and you have to leave the room or do something for a reason, like you can use this type of chain to tether your dog too, so that they can't chew through it and can't like rip it, so that if you have them tethered, they'll stay wherever they're tethered. So I know I just threw a bunch of stuff at you at once. I know that it can feel overwhelming, but I promise you've got this. It's actually gonna be a fun experience for you to work with your dog and to help your dog get comfortable around 4th of July, because it's gonna help them be comfortable even in other situations and for the rest of their life. I'm really happy that you all were able to join today. I appreciate your time. I wish you the happiest 4th of July and the safest 4th of July. I'm excited to hear about it. Jump on our Instagram and let us know how your 4th of July went. All right, everybody, I'll see you next week.